guys, happy first of the readathon. I'm currently waiting for the kiddo that I tutor to get out of the bathroom, but I just wanted to come on and start off the first vlog of the month, basically just telling you guys what the plan is. So I have a very busy day today, and I was going to do a live show this evening, but I don't really have time to do it, unfortunately. But I ended up rescheduling it for next weekend. But my plan is I have a lot of stuff I have to do when I get home today, in terms of like content making, stuff like that, because I kind of took the day off yesterday-ish, because I've been off and on sick this last week. I don't know what's been going on. It's been a wash this past week, basically, with doing anything. But I have several books that I had to carry over from May that are going to be my main priority at the very least, until I get through them and the books that are on my more established TBR for the month. But the majority of the TBR that I have that I would like to do is going to be very randomized, because I decided that I'm going to do something that I've seen on TikTok that I really like, which is this person does basically no book buying until they get through their TBR, which is like over 4,000 books. I did the math and I updated my library spreadsheet. Total amount of books read and unread, so everything that I own, from physical books, ebooks, audiobooks, I have 5,632 books. Yeah, and 92% of the books that I own are unread. So your girl needs to get that down. And I don't know how I'm going to manage that, but the idea is that for every book that I read that I have not read already, so rereads in this don't count or anything, but like if I get a book that I want to reread, then I'll reread it, or I'll read like, you know, whatever I need to, like especially if it's a series and it's been a while since I've read the books in the series, you know, I might reread it, but they don't count toward this. But for every book that I read, I will put away $1, and I will every so often, maybe like every month or so, however many unread books I get through and how much money I put away, I'll use to pay off some extra debt. Because y'all know I've been struggling with some debt on my end, and I need to make better choices. And I feel like this is going to be a really good way for me to make better choices. Now, if I get gifted books or something, I'm going to add them to my spreadsheet. But the idea is that I am not going to be buying books. That's the hope, that's the goal. And like I said, if I get gifts, like, you know, because my birthday's coming up in July, so if I get books gifted to me, like, that's fine, it's whatever, because like I've got friends that'll send me stuff, my parents, you know, they'll buy me some stuff here and there for my birthday, my husband will, so I'm not really like being super strict about it, in the sense that like if I get books from other people, like it's fine, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to like buy something on my own kind of thing. So anyway, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. But like I said, I have a lot of books that I carried over that I've been stuck on. Like I've got 6 books, I think, that I need to finish still.
Hey guys, so I have just arrived home. After tutoring, I went and got some groceries, came home, changed because it is hot out right now. It's very muggy. So turned the AC on in the house, and I don't really have much else like outside of the house to do. I have a lot of work I gotta do though, like voiceover stuff, mostly graphics. I have to get some TikToks made. I have to film a couple of videos that are supposed to go out this coming week, which includes basically my TBR and my wrap up from May. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the voiceovers first, and then go from there. Tutoring went pretty okay. It was better than the last time I was there. The kid the last time I was there was just so unfocused for the majority of the day. So today was a lot better. He was a lot more focused. He was a little bit more engaged with what we were doing, which was good. And I ended up actually getting out early because there was like one thing that we could have done, but it would have been getting halfway done with it kind of thing, and I didn't want to start something and then have him forget how to go about it, so I decided to just wait to do that until Monday when I go back. So anyway, as far as the rest of this evening, Robert is out for a wedding that I decided not to go to so that I could go tutor, and then I I don't know what time he's gonna get home, honestly, because it's kind of like one of those all-day things. And of course, I just get back from having groceries and my prescription's ready. Fantastic. Why could it not have been ready when I was there? Okay, so that's gonna be something else I need to do. So I'll probably take a break at some point and go pick that up before the pharmacy closes. That's annoying. But anyway, so yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my voiceover work, and then once I get all the voiceover work done, I'll take a break, go pick up my meds, come back, work on my graphics and YouTube and TikTok videos, stuff like that. And then after all that, I'll sit and read. And I think that I'm not gonna join any sprints tonight. I'm just gonna kind of sit and relax. The Discord for Battle of the Bookish, everyone's really excited. We did announce a brand new aspect of the readathon this time, which essentially is taking the abilities that people had in the training camp and extending it to the readathon, the main readathon, because we've never really done that before. And we thought it was a really cool idea to, well, I say we, I mean Addie had brought it up, where we talked about previously this idea of, you know, extending the abilities to, like, they can use them twice in the month, and this is the first time we're doing that. So this is a brand new thing. We're really excited about it, and we're excited to see how people end up using it and whether or not this is something we want to continue with. I'm willing to bet we are going to be wanting to do this in the future, because I have a feeling that it's going to turn out pretty well in terms of, like, overall how people enjoy it, people, you know, using the abilities, that kind of thing. So anyway, I think I'm just gonna go get started on my work. It's currently 3:25. I'll probably take a break for dinner too. Like, I might go pick myself up some dinner when I go to pick up my meds. I don't know, we'll see. I have one chapter for one of these projects that's 40 pages long. I'm going to die, I swear. It's gonna be like a 40-minute clip, raw footage at least, and I'm gonna have to edit that down, and that's just gonna be the bane of my existence. But at least the other chapters are fairly short for the most part. Like, one is like 20 pages, and the other one's not quite 20. So, yeah, I am very much in need of catching up, because especially one of these projects is due on the 22nd of this month. So I need to finish it, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 chapters basically left, or like sections left. And then I have the closing credits and the retail sample to make. Or do I even want to do that today? Because if that's all I have, I could still get that done before, like, the week of that it's due. And my other project's not due till August. Do we say screw it and restart later and focus on the other things? I think we might. I think I might, because your girl does not really want to do much today. Graphics and TikTok and YouTube videos are kind of the things I would like to more so focus on. And I may even push that off till tomorrow, because I don't have anything going on tomorrow except going out to lunch with a friend of mine for his birthday with my husband and our friend's spouse. I'm used to being so productive that there are times where it's hard for me to tell myself I don't have to do this right now, I can wait another day or two, especially when I have deadlines that are a little bit further out. And I know I have some wiggle room, essentially, like within the project. Like, I'll have some wiggle room to, you know, have a little bit of downtime instead of like getting everything done like first thing. And the reason is because I feel like, and this is something I've talked about with my therapist a lot, is this idea of, like, there's been this precedent set throughout most of my life where if you're gonna get something done, get it done early, get it done quickly, you know, within like reason, and, you know, do it well, so that you can then, after you're done with it, spend all that time relaxing. Like, work first, relax later. And that has been something I have been really trying to allow myself to move away from, and doing less productive work when I don't feel able to do it. Like, I only have enough spoons in the day, and sometimes I have more, some days I have more spoons than others, such as with it being manic and depressive, you know, and those interchanging. And when I'm manic, I want to do everything, and when I'm depressed, I force myself to do something to maybe make myself feel better, and it ends up being where I just don't actually end up having the energy, and I need to take a rest day. And I, you know, pride myself on that and recognizing that, but at the same time, I feel guilty about the fact, oh, I'm not doing my work, I'm not doing the things I need to do, I'm not doing the stuff that's, you know, important to me, and the things that I would like to be able to get done, so I'm not having to worry about it, you know, for the rest of the week, and I can focus on, you know, subbing, and I can focus on tutoring, and I don't have to worry about, you know, posting these things every day because they're scheduled out, you know, whatever the case may be. And I think especially with people that are in social media of any kind, or people that, like, especially they do it on their free time, it's not like a part of their actual job or anything, and they just do it kind of like more so for fun, or like, you know, as a smaller monetary income, you know, if like you were able to do that, kudos to you, first of all. But I think the thing that we all talk about, and I think is pretty well established within the community, but gets really kind of, I think, missed, is that, I don't know, it's one of those things where, like, a lot of people talk about it, do not get me wrong, a lot of people talk about this idea of, you know, don't overwork yourself. There are more important things than, you know, focusing so much on this thing that you don't have to do right in that moment. You can wait, you know, another day, you can wait another week before doing something, because it's not necessarily needed to be done at that moment in time. But we have this productivity culture, especially in the US, where, you know, if you're not doing something productive, especially, and not doing something that is either furthering yourself or furthering, you know, society or anything like that, you know, you're kind of a waste of space. And I've been trying to reframe myself into thinking it's not that I'm a waste of space, it's that I don't have the energy to put into this kind of a thing. I don't have the energy to put myself in front of the microphone all the time and doing these voiceovers, because, like, for one of them I have to do an accent. The other one, the voice is a little bit more higher pitched than my natural voice, and so that can be really exhausting. And whoever tells you that voice acting is not difficult, to hell with that, because it can be super difficult when you do not have the energy to even speak your natural voice into a microphone. Like, you're following a script. Yes, it doesn't seem like it's that hard. But the thing is that it takes so much energy to just do the, you know, acting that there is involved. It's just as if, like, I was on stage, essentially. It is exhausting to run through the same things and say the same lines over and over again when we're rehearsing, because there's so much energy and life force that is put into those things that, you know, makes it harder for you to get that back. It's all energy that is being spent. And even though I'm sitting down and, you know, I'm just talking into a microphone, there is energy that is being put out to do that. Like, your voice gets tired. And when your voice gets tired, you can't perform very well. And when you don't have the energy to perform, you know, can make your voice even more tired, you know, that kind of thing. So whoever says that voice actors do not work at all and that the work is not that difficult, you are absolutely wrong, and you've never done voice acting in your entire life, and you need to stop saying those things, because you're wrong. You're wrong. So I think, long story short, I think I'm gonna put off voice acting until Monday, because I feel like I end up beginning of the week feeling more in line with, you know, going to work and all that stuff, and so then I feel more productive getting work done like that. This coming Monday, I have to look at my schedule. This coming Monday, obviously I have tutoring, but I work at an elementary school 4 days out of the 5 next week. The same elementary school. I'm working 3 days in a row. I work half a day at another school, and then I go back to that elementary school on Friday. And I'm looking at my schedule, and I know I'm gonna have a hard time getting caught up. But at the same time, I don't have to do 3 chapters in a row on Monday. I can just do one from one project, one from the next, and call that good. And I think I'll be okay with that, especially if I can get the rest of my stuff done this weekend, where like if I can film at least my TBR and my wrap up, I can, and then tomorrow do the TikTok and stuff and edit those videos, which the TikTok won't take very long to film, so maybe I'll squeeze that in today. But yeah, I think we can do that. I think that's gonna make the most sense. So I'm gonna reorganize my planner in terms of like what my plan is going into next week is gonna be, and we will just go from there. I'll make my graphics, film my videos, and then spend the rest of the night relaxing. We'll do that. That makes the most sense to me because I have about half of my energy bar, and I don't think that's enough for me to be able to do all of that and do voice acting today. Don't think it's possible. Not for me. Tomorrow we'll kind of see, maybe I'll do something, but I think it's going to be mostly just editing videos and scheduling them and scheduling other things, and I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit less of a hectic work day for me, but I don't know. Thanks for chatting with me about that. Appreciate it. I appreciate you. I hope you feel appreciated that I want to talk to you about this, because y'all are my friends. Hopefully, at least. Okay, so about a little more than an hour and a half later, and the sun has basically disappeared. I don't know where it went. But I am going to throw on a quick pair of pants and a sweater, because it's a little chilly in here. And we're gonna go grab my meds real quick and also go grab some dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna get because I've had some fast food the last few days and I really don't know if I want to do that again. I don't know. I'm indecisive of what I want to do for dinner in general. So, because I'm not really hungry, but I know if I wait long enough, I'm going to get hungry, and I don't want to have to get out again to go get food if I need to, and I really don't want to, I don't know. Maybe I'll just DoorDash something. And maybe I'll just wait to get my meds until tomorrow when I'm out and about anyway. That probably seems like a smarter idea. Okay, we're gonna do that. Regardless though, I'm gonna throw on a pair of sweatpants and a sweater because it is chilly in here, and I'm gonna turn off the AC for at least a little bit. Booba, you wanna say something? You wanna say hi to the peoples? Booba? Booby, it's your time to shine. Do you have something you would like to say to the peoples? Oh, big stretch. Oh my goodness. Let's go see where Dougie is. Dugga, Dugga, Dugga. There's my Dougie. Hi, baby. There's my Dougie. So happy. They probably gotta go outside. So I'm gonna go let them go potty. I'm gonna go potty. So we're gonna go outside for a hot minute. And I think now that, my goodness. Now that I'm basically done with graphics, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because my shoulder's starting to hurt, and I think I pinched a nerve from working too much over this past week. So I'm not gonna aggravate it too much more, but after I figure out what basically I'm gonna do, I'm going to get my TikToks made that I can and film the videos I need to do for this coming week. So far so good. Okay, filming is done, so we're good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition now over to the living room, and we're going to get through some reading because I want to sit and read, and I think I'm going to order myself sushi for dinner because I want it, and I have a little bit extra cash thanks to that nice extra paycheck from this month, and all my bills are taken care of already. Got groceries today, so I have a little bit extra that I can spend a little bit on myself, something nice, something that's going to make me happy. So yeah, anyway, let's go over to the living room and get started on reading. Okay, food is ordered. Don't know why there's honking going on, but food is ordered. Be here in like half an hour-ish. Wine is poured, and my hair is a mess from driving in my Jeep earlier because I had the window down. Now my hair's all knotted. Yuck. Not fun. This is the literal definition of Jeep hair, apparently. But what I'm going to start with is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm going to get to the page mark that I need to with my buddy read and text my buddy. I don't have very much of it really to read before I hit the goal that we had last time. So text my buddy about it, and then move on to finishing Only on the Weekends, because I only have like 30 pages left of that. And then I think from there I will get started with doing like reading sprints, basically, like my dice sprints, and continuing on with First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. So I've got ambiance on, nice and cozy. It's a little rainy, and my mother just texted me saying that she and my sister got home safe. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice cozy evening. Hope you enjoy it with me. And Oscar's looking at me like, what? What do you mean it's a nice cozy evening? I staying home, Booba. I'm not going anywhere. No. He's seriously looking at me like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about, Mom? What are you talking about? But, alright, we're gonna get started, so, hooray! Okay, reached my goal, so I'm gonna text my buddy, and then I'm gonna get started with Only on the Weekends. Okay, sushi's been consumed. We're getting back into it. I think I misjudged how much of Only on the Weekends I had left. I think I've got like, I think I had less than 30 pages left, but it's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're gonna finish the last part here, and we're gonna rock and roll. Okay, so just finished Only on the Weekends. Overall, I liked this a lot more than I did the Black Flamingo. Like, the Black Flamingo was perfectly fine. I think I just don't quite understand the drag aspect as much because I'm not a part of the drag scene, and so it was a little bit more difficult for me to follow that story. And I also feel like there were a lot of disjointed aspects of that story in terms of, like, talking about, you know, being in drag versus the, you know, normal everyday stuff. It's also been a long time since I've read that one, so that one may be due for a reread. Not sure. I'll make that decision if I ever come to it. But Only on the Weekends, super, super good. Really explores this idea of transness and non-binariness, and also really does touch on a lot about cheating, especially like what it means to cheat emotionally and how that works. So the story focuses on this guy named Macintosh, or as he goes by usually, Mac. And he, very early on, establishes this relationship with this boy named Kay, who he has had a crush on most of his life. Dad is a filmmaker, and he and Dad live in, like, the London area, and they're constantly going away for, like, films, things like that. Mac's mother had apparently died when he was very young, to the point where he does not remember her at all, and there's very little of anything around their home about her because of things that you learn about over the course of the book. But the main story is that Mac, he develops this relationship with this guy Kay, who is closeted. Mac is more so out in terms of his sexuality, of being gay, but Kay is very much closeted, and he is afraid of really being open about his relationship with Mac, even though he supposedly really cares for him. Well, come to find out, there's a movie being made about a trans person who wrote a book about being trans and going through their transition. This person named Finn. Now, Finn is a trans male, and so female to male transition essentially, and Finn has become super popular because of the book, and then Mac's dad decides he's going to take on the project of making that book into a movie, which basically is like a biopic of sorts of Finn's life, with Finn playing himself and then casting other people in his life that seem similar to the real life people that are involved in the book. So what happens then is Mac ends up moving to Glasgow, Scotland for a little bit, for like a few months basically, while they do the principal filming of everything. And he obviously meets Finn. They develop this budding friendship, but you really get very early on that there might be something more to it. And so this whole story is about, Mac is only able to see Kay on the weekends, as the title kind of implies, or he's only able to do things with Finn on the weekends because Finn during the week is usually filming, things like that. So on the weekends is when a lot of these things happen, because Mac's also still in school, he's still doing his education, all these things. So really only on the weekends is the title of this, because most of the story is only on the weekends, like following the story. But this story, I think, too, really paints a picture of what does it mean to be an emotional cheater? Because we all talk about the physical cheating of things, right? We talk about, when a person, like, for instance, kisses another person or sleeps with another person. That's, like, one form of cheating. But another form of cheating is emotional, where you are essentially, like, telling someone else the problems of your relationship that could also be somehow, like, you're basically telling someone that you have some kind of feelings for about the problems of your relationship, and your partner not knowing that this is like your confidant of sorts, or not establishing that confidant relationship, just kind of like saying things are going wrong in your relationship to someone who may have a vested interest in the happenings of your relationship, kind of thing. Doing things that might not seem like cheating at first, but then like you find that there's intention or subconscious intention behind it. So like hand holding, for instance, even that, if that doesn't necessarily mean that you're cheating on someone, if you have feelings for another person and you're doing this willingly, kind of thing, like it can be emotional cheating. There's a lot of real nuance when it comes to that I think that this explores really well, because I think, like I said, most times when we think of cheating, we think of physical cheating, which is like the end result of all this buildup, right? We don't even understand the buildup that there is to the cheating, which is a lot of times the emotional aspect. The emotional stuff is what builds on and on and on over time, and then the physical cheating is what is the end result of all of that. It's all of that romantic and sexual tension that is built up over time between two people that comes to a head, and that's where the physical cheating comes in. Now, obviously, depending on your situation, that emotional aspect can ramp up very quickly, like a one-night stand kind of thing, or it can, in this case, be developed over several weeks, if not months, and then comes to a head all of a sudden kind of thing, like in one instant. But it's a product of building up so much of time and sexual energy and tension and things like that. But I don't know, for some reason I like this just a lot more than the Black Flamingo. I think it explored a lot more things that I was interested in seeing within the story, and I think it was just much more better written. And I think that part of it too with the Black Flamingo is that that was Dean Atta's debut, so it probably just didn't hit me in the way that I wanted it to initially, because it was the debut, and so like Dean was still kind of getting into that writing style and figuring out what they wanted to do, especially when writing in poetry format. This felt a lot more solid. This felt a lot more, you know, concise and a lot more consistent with what I would like to see in prose writing from what I've seen of like Elizabeth Acevedo and Ellen Hopkins, stuff like that. So I think I didn't absolutely fawn over this though. So I can't really give it a 5-star, but I definitely would say it's like somewhere like a 4.5. That one is done. So I have one book out of my several from May down, and I'm going to get started with rolling for dice sprints. So let's pull up my handy dandy little dice roller, and let's see what we're going to get for our first roll. So, oops, I did not mean to hit it. A 10, so that's going to be a 50-minute sprint to start us off, and I'm going to be reading First Light Winds by Ashley Elston, which, that one's also a bit of a fast read. Like, the chapters are pretty easy to fly through, so that should get me a lot of good time in, but I'm going to play my game for a minute first, because I want to get this done. Done with that. I just want to, every now and then have to, like, check on my game, because I get things that, you know, spawn and stuff, and so I want to like keep playing as much as I can, because it's so addicting to play it. It's so satisfying. So, all right, we got 50 minutes on our timer, and of course my battery's gonna die. So I'll just catch up with you guys later when I've made more progress, and I'm just gonna call it there for a night and just focus on reading. I think that sounds good. Good night. Hey guys, so real quick before my battery dies, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday, and had lunch, reorganized my library upstairs, and we're gonna get to doing some work. I've got a couple videos to edit, and then we'll be done for the night and just focusing on reading. So let's get started. all of my work is done, and I even took a little time to do some planning and stuff going on for this coming week and for the next several weeks, so that I at least know kind of what I've got going on, you know, video wise, stuff like that. So it is now 5:16. So Robert is at his mom and dad's. Don't know exactly when he's gonna get back, but he took the boys with him, as he does every Sunday. And so I've got the house to myself, and we're gonna sit and read for a while. So I did pretty good yesterday. I ended up reading like 230 some pages, I think, between all of my books, which was great. So we're gonna make some more progress. We're gonna get started with first Sons of Darkness, because that's the next book I want to truck through a little bit, and we'll do some dice sprints to figure out what we're doing with that. So I'm gonna get comfy and put on some lo-fi, and we'll just kind of go from there. All right, so let's see what our first roll is gonna be. We are going with, oh, my sister just texted me. I think that's an 8. And I need to edit a paper of hers apparently today, which is fine. It's just about a page. So, but we'll do about 40 minutes of reading. I'll do that, and then we'll get back to reading. Okay, so it's about 6:41 right now. I read about 27 pages of Sons of Darkness. I'm really liking this. I think that this is not getting the attention it deserves, and I think it's because it's just such a complicated story. This is a Hindu-inspired, like, Mahabharata epic story. It's literally inspired by the Mahabharata, which is like one of the most epic stories in fantasy that you will find. Fantasy, putting that loosely. It essentially goes through the story of the Mahabharata, but flips it to where it's a little bit more of a fantastical feel on it. So you have a bunch of these different, like, areas of power, right? And there is one particular ruler named Krishna, who is like the idea of Krishna in the Mahabharata, who is basically like the Hindu version in a lot of ways of Christ, but he is in a different kind of power of sorts. He is essentially called the usurper. He is basically the person that rules this kingdom. Now, in between the stories of what is like the main plot going on, which is essentially what's the real story going on in this world, there is this character named Masha. Masha is a character who has visions, and she's basically a part of this, not necessarily a nunnery, but more of like this conclave of women who have like more magical based abilities and work with things like mandalas and chakras, and they're more fantastical than what we know them to be here in our world. But the like mandalas are puzzles of magic that essentially you have to figure out, and the chakras are literal openings of power that you have to open up in order to access certain aspects of power. Anyway, Masha starts having these visions, and so she is thrust into this kind of like discovery of trying to understand why she's having these visions, what's the purpose of them, and as she's doing that, she's reading these diaries, she's reading these things that are basically outlining and helping us understand the whole aspect of the world. In this world, Krishna is essentially preparing for a possible war, but he's hoping that he can avoid that by essentially marrying off a princess that is part of a kind of more warring country. And there's also a couple other characters. There's Mati, who is kind of a princess that has run away and she becomes a pirate, and there's all kinds of things surrounding around that in terms of how awful her upbringing was. There is also, in the synopsis at least, a character named Karna, who essentially used to be a like soldier of sorts, and he's trying to really, you know, put away his past, but, you know, there are some things that kind of bring about him of like redeeming himself in some kind of way. And then there's Shakuni is a torturer. He used to be this really well-known hero in this world, like warrior, but now he is basically used as a torturer, and he is kind of skirting around the outsides of things. He's kind of skirting around what's going on, and he's trying to avoid getting kind of in trouble, but, you know, it's one of those things where, like, the more you try to not get in trouble, the easier it is to get in trouble, kind of thing. There's so much that goes on with this story, and it is very complicated, do not get me wrong, but I think it is so fun, and I think it's really atmospheric. And I think that for a lot of people, like, it just doesn't, my thing is that with it, I just think that there were certain points where it just kind of lag. Like, this is not a 5-star for me, this is more like a 4-star, but I really enjoy it, and I think that people are missing out on a lot of really cool stuff, especially if you know nothing about Hindu mythology. This will help you understand, at least to some degree, of the people involved, at least in the Mahabharata, and kind of give you a jump start into being like, oh, what is this thing? I want to know more about it, and doing your own research on it. The author Gourav Mohanty, he was inspired by the politicalness that there was with George R.R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire series, which, more power to him, that's a huge aspect of this entire thing, is the political scheming. So I will say that if you are not a political person when it comes to fantasy, this might not be for you. I normally am not someone that really enjoys a ton of political stuff. Like, it kind of goes over my head. But I'm actually enjoying this even regardless of that, which I think says a lot about how Mohanty basically has gotten me so invested in this world, and with each of these characters wanting to see how they fare at the end of it. Because what's happening now at this point in the story is everything's been leading up to this thing, which is called I have to look at it to be able to pronounce it correctly. It is called a Sawamvar, I think. Or Swayamvar. Maybe Swayamvar. That might be how you pronounce it. But basically, it's this huge party. It's this huge get-together. And this princess that the king is essentially wanting to marry off to somebody, it's kind of like a competition. Like, it's a competition of men fighting for the princess that they want to marry. That's kind of what it is. And I do believe this is leading into the story of the Pandava brothers, if I'm not mistaken. Because the Pandava brothers are mentioned a little bit in this, at least Arjun is, who, if you've read Arusha, the series by Roshani Chokshi, another great introduction into Hindu mythology also. You know, there's the story of Arjun and his ability with his bow, and how he's, you know, super, super powerful, and how the Pandava brothers are like, they're a huge aspect of the Mahabharata by itself. I think the biggest thing for a lot of people with this is how dense it is and the politicalness of it, but I'm enjoying the crap out of it. Every time I get a chance to read it, I just get sucked right back in, which is amazing for me, because this has taken me a long time to read, and this library copy has been checked out for a long time by me, but thankfully nobody else has really needed it. I haven't had to like return it for any reason, which fingers crossed that stays the case for at least another week. But I am over halfway through it now. I am in the first part of essentially the party or the competition, and so I'm curious to see what happens. I'm expecting a lot of death. I'm expecting a lot of gore. I'm expecting a huge battle to come out at some point, and I'm expecting some people to just die that I really like, and I'm I'm prepared. This is very much in that grim dark also, that kind of very grim dark area, because there is a lot of death. Now what I'm gonna work on is I don't need to work on Addie just yet because I haven't really heard from my buddy about how they feel about the book. So I'm gonna put that one aside for right now. And I think I am going to pick up something else. What is it that I was gonna pick up? I don't know. I don't think I have another book that I can pick up. I think I'm down to 5 books. So, because I was doing it where I had like an order of like, okay, after this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. But since I finished only on the weekends last night, I don't have to finish that. So I think I'm just going to move on to First Lie Wins. And we'll go from there. Which, this book, by the way, is a trip and a half. Like, if you like your thrillers where you are finding twists and turns from like the very beginning, check this one out, because the first 100 pages I had me doing a bit of a head spin, and I'm like, what? Huh? What? So, yeah, that's been a trip, but let's go ahead and see what our next sprint is gonna be. Bloop. 5. So that's a 25-minute sprint. This book is actually really easy to fly through in like half an hour. So I'll probably get through like 50 pages in that time. But yeah, we'll do 25 minutes and then we'll take a bit of a break and then get into Bride and then Baptism of Fire. And probably, I think I'll be able to get through at least another little bit of Sons of Darkness before the end of the night, because it's just now going on 7. So let's go.
Hey guys, so it's been a minute since I've updated because honestly I've been so busy this week with work, but today is early release and I'm currently on my lunch break, just waiting for my food to cool down at this point. But I did on Monday, I think it was, finish Baptism of Fire by Andrzej Sapkowski. 4 out of 5 stars. I think that overall my rating of the series is going to be like a 4-star because it's consistently been that way. This one in particular was really cool. There was a whole new character brought in that really warped the sense of what a vampire could be in especially this world, and I thought that was just super, super cool. And there is a lot that goes on in this one in particular. It's less on the political side than I think the other books had been, but really, really good. I actually think that this one might be one of my favorite ones in the series, to be completely honest. But yeah, so then, since then, I have got through 150 some pages of First Lie Wins. This one's making me like question everything, basically. I made more progress in Sons of Darkness. I just think I reached the 300 page mark. So we're over halfway done with that one, I think. And then I'm over halfway done, almost done actually, with Bride. Like I have less than 100 pages left of Bride, which I'm going to read a little bit of this on my break. But after work, I'm actually heading to the bookstore, not to buy a book, but because the cafe there is hiring. So I'm going to go put in my application for the summer at least, so that I can try to have a job over the summer. Keep your fingers crossed. Hope I get it. And I know that I technically am not supposed to be buying books, I realized that the newest book in the Black Sun series by Rebecca Roanhorse, Mirrored Heavens, is out, and I didn't already have Fevered Star somehow. I have the ebook of Black Sun, but I never read Fevered Star, and I thought I had the ebook of it at the very least, but I don't. So one is debating on getting a copy of Fevered Star and Mirrored Heavens and seeing what else there is. Do I have the money to do this? Yeah, kind of. Do I need it? No. Am I gonna get it? We'll see how my will is when I get to the bookstore. I really shouldn't, but I really, 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 really want to. I am conflicted. I am so conflicted. I guess we'll see in the next clip whether or not I get the books or not. But yeah, so basically the rest of the day here at work is lunch, and then the kids that I have, that I'm a para for, they have their special, and then after that they go home. So be out of here hopefully about 1:30-ish, and then I'll run over to the bookstore at least to go put in my job application for the cafe, and we'll see what my will is when it comes to books. My hope is that at least Fevered Star will be in paperback, which will make it a little bit easier for me to convince myself to get it, because paperbacks are usually cheaper. But Mirrored Heavens just came out, so like it just came out earlier this week. Like I think it was released yesterday, either then or Monday, I can't quite remember, but yeah. So, and there's other books that I released too. This is so hard. I forget how hard it is to be on a book buying ban until I'm in a book buying ban. I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong. We'll see how strong I can be when I get there. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna force myself. We're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna buy a book. This is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be so difficult. Like, I got 4 books. Yeah, but the thing is that this is it. This is my last book purchase for a while. I did end up finding a copy of Fevered Star in paperback, and I got Mirrored Heavens, which is an autographed copy, which I'm super excited for. I did find 4 Eats and a Funeral, which I don't think is autographed, but it doesn't matter. And then I found the new S.T. Gibson book, Evocation. So now I am heading home, and definitely did not need to spend that much money, but like I said, it's the last purchase I'm gonna make for a while, so it is worth it. We're heading home now. It is about 2:40 in the afternoon. I also went and submitted my application for the cafe, sat and talked with an employee for probably a good 20 minutes about books, and awesome, super awesome. Kiki, if you're watching this, hello again. Hope you're doing good, and I'll probably see you sometime soon, hopefully, if I get the job at the cafe. But yeah, so that's basically it for right now. My plan for the rest of the night, I am really not in the mood to do any voiceover work. I had a very annoying day with work, and I don't want to deal with editing anything today, and I had the same thing going on yesterday. So I am just gonna sit at home and read, because I want to finish Bride. I want to try to get through most of, if not all of, First Lie Wins, and I need to make more progress in Sons of Darkness, because I am trudging through that book and I'm loving it, but I'm stuck, you know, at like halfway through the book, and I want to continue with it. And also it's going to be probably a bit of a rainy and stormy day today, because it's been kind of off and on raining, so it'll be nice to be nice and cozy. So while I was at the store and giving my information to Kiki, I found out Danielle Page follows my Instagram, which, if you don't know who Danielle Page is, she wrote the Wizard of Oz series where it's Dorothy Must Die. What? I knew Tanana Reeve do follow me on TikTok, but Danielle Page follows me on Instagram? What? I am so confused but happy at the same time. I don't know what exactly is going on, but I'm not going to question it necessarily either. Just, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, anyway, that's it for me for right now. Hope you guys are doing okay, and we'll check back in later when I get to do my reading and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it. I bought books. I broke. But again, it's still before my actual, like, TBR thing, so did I really cheat, or did I just do a little final haul? I'm gonna go with final haul. But rest assured, after this, we're done. We're not buying books for at least a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna get home and I will see you guys later.
All right, so we are home. The boys are very happy that I am home. And it's thundering outside. It is a full-on thunderstorm. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. We're gonna get some reading done. So, I am going to start off with Bride and probably finish this first. And then we'll go from there. So, let me get my little dice roller out because we're going to do dice sprints for the night. And 11. That should hopefully be plenty of time. It's 55 minutes. And according to the audiobook that I've been using along with the book, so 2 hours, 55 minutes. So 55 times 2, because I'm at 2 times speed, is about hour and 50 minutes. So not quite. Won't probably quite finish the book. Maybe. But we'll get pretty darn close to it. So. And I think while I listen to the book, I'm going to play some Animal Crossing. And just chill out and enjoy the vibes. So, join me. Well, I can't seem to find the dang remote, so that's frustrating. So I had a bit of an accident last night. For those of you that don't know, I never learned how to ride a bike as a kid, and I had told Robert I wanted to try to learn. And so last night we borrowed a friend's bike, and I was learning how to ride a bike, and I got to be pretty good at it. But I did wipe out and hurt myself quite a bit, where I had my hands out in front of me, broke my fall, and I felt, didn't hear, but felt my elbow pop. And now my elbow, up my bicep, and down my forearm hurts. It's fine if I don't move it, but if I go to move it in any way, it hurts. I can still grip, so it's not a nerve, but when I grip, if I grip too hard, it hurts the muscle right here. I can't, this is about as far as I can stretch out my arm, which is not quite fully straightened out. Maybe it can go further. Oh, actually, that's a little bit better. Okay, that's where it starts to hurt a little bit more. Yeah, that's like painful. But it's not, actually that's better than it was even just a little bit ago. So now I'm wondering if it's maybe the muscle, because a friend of mine let me borrow some CBD cream, and
I used that about maybe 15 minutes ago, and I can already stretch out my arm better than I could earlier today. So that's promising. That tells me it's probably more muscle related than anything. I don't know. Either way, I've been told I probably should get an x-ray, because like even if I like feel around for any like soreness, it's like back here. This is where it's most tender. I can kind of lean on it. I don't know. Now I'm confused because it was really painful trying to do something. Like I can't really like hit it without it hurting. Like this is the most I've been able to stretch it since before I fell. So that CBD cream seemed to have worked wonders, which I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised it worked that fast. I can still feel it tension like right here and a little bit down here, but that's the most I've been able to stretch it at all today. I haven't been able to lift anything. I haven't been able to like hold on to, I haven't been able to like high five kids or anything like that. Yeah, so that's just been an odd day today, but it's also field day today for the kids. Okay, so update on the arm. It's much better. Last night I put on this CBD oil that, or not oil, but like cream that Robert and I had from like a long time ago that still was good. So now the pain is more localized to right about here and a little bit in my shoulder, but I am able to lift, so I'll show you. I'm able to lift with very little pain, more straight than before. Still a little bit of a bend right here, but not too bad. I can rotate to about here before pain, which again, a lot of that pain is right here in my elbow. Rotate the other way about almost as far as I would be able to do normally. And I can like make a fist and I can like do all that. Lifting things is still a little bit difficult because a lot of that strength comes from like my bicep area where my elbow is. So that's still a little bit tender, but it's much improved even from yesterday. And I think that doing that is going to be my saving grace, is continuing doing like BioFreeze or that, you know, CBD cream, which my mom is coming here to help me get a couple things to help with my shoulder and my arm. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing better. So I have the live show tonight for The Witcher, and I should be able to do that. I am really behind on a lot of things, mainly because this past week was just a complete wash. And I really struggled this week with a lot of stuff. But we're going to try to get back on track today. And after I get back from doing stuff with my mom, and hopefully I can get myself caught up without causing too much pain on my arm. I really don't want to make like graphics and do a lot of typing, but I have like so much work I need to do. Like I've got a voiceover project that's due the 22nd that I'm behind on. But this next week coming up is the last few days of school. So in reality, I could finish it, you know, I've got a full day Monday and then the last 2 days of school are half days. So I could really get down to business on Tuesday and get stuff done before I go to tutoring, which would be great. So that might be what I do, just so I can give my arm more rest. But I think in terms of like my graphics and stuff, I'm gonna take the week off, at least until next Friday when I normally make graphics and stuff, just because I don't want to aggravate any more my arm than it already is aggravated. So we're gonna just do that. Take it easy, best I can. In terms of my reading, I have not really read the last couple days. Yesterday was field day for the school I was at, and so I didn't really get a chance to read much. And then Robert and I went out to dinner last night with a couple friends of ours, and when I got home, I was so exhausted that I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock. I was so tired, so I just slept. And
I have a little bit of time to where I could finish Bride really quick before my mom gets here, which is what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna move on to my other books later today. So yeah, that's basically it for right now. Because I'm not quite, I think I'm almost halfway through First Lie Wins. I'm over halfway done with Sons of Darkness, and I don't think I started anything else. Because I was gonna start the Tower of Swallow, but I didn't yet. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're gonna go finish Bride real quick because I really only have the epilogue left for that, and then just kind of go from there. So see you guys in a little while. Ow, why am I using this arm? It's fine, I can still do it. Hey guys, so it is 7-Eleven on Saturday. I got a cheap little watch off TikTok shop that I got here today, so I'm acting as if it's giving me a whole new personality. So hung out with my mom today. We got some stuff to help me with my arm, and we went shopping and stuff and did a bunch of stuff, so I'm exhausted. I also sat and I tried to take care of some of my laundry and clothes and stuff, and I probably shouldn't have done that because that just aggravated my elbow even more. I'm seriously 45 minutes before my live show debating on whether or not I should cancel again and reschedule. Because I am just bone tired, but I'm gonna persevere. I'm gonna get through it. Probably gonna make it fairly short, and I won't be doing sprints after or anything. I'm just gonna give it like maybe an hour or something, and then maybe go to bed, because I am just so exhausted from today. Like you can see in my eyes how tired I am. I can see it in the camera, so I know you can see that. I am so tired. On the bright side, what we've basically determined is that there's just a knot right here, a knot of muscles, and this is where most of the pain is anymore. So I've got a compression sleeve on to help with that and help with any kind of like lifting or stuff that I'm doing if I need to. I just sat and had ice on it for about 15 minutes. So I'm giving it time to not have ice on it, and I'm gonna get my little massager that I got, and I'm gonna try to massage the muscle here a little bit before the live show. I'm so tired. I'm so beyond tired. But anyway, tomorrow the plan is to get some work done while I'm home, because Mom and I went and got groceries, and so we don't have to worry about that. So tomorrow is probably just going to be a bit of a work day and try to get as much work as I need to done before the week starts, which will be like voiceover work, need to do my business taxes, stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at. Probably read somewhat tomorrow. That sounds like a pretty good idea. We'll see if I feel up to reading before I go to bed tonight. I doubt it, but we'll see. Because I still haven't read anything. I didn't end up reading before my mom got here because I got distracted by my husband. Ended up sitting outside with him for a while before my mom got here, so yeah. But I'm gonna go. Peace. Okay, babes, so this is what we're gonna do. It's Sunday. Still nursing my arm. Most of my pain is basically right here at this moment in time. BioFreeze is helping, which is great. Ice, heat, all that. A little massage, and my compression sleeve has been really helping with keeping my arm at least a little bit more stable. But what we're going to do tonight, because it is Sunday, Robert just left to go to his parents' house for the evening. It's going on 4 o'clock, I think, right now. We're gonna sit and we're gonna chill and read, because I've not read in like 4 days because I've been nursing my arm and having some issues with it. But today is a good day to just sit in the house, read, not really go anywhere, do nothing else. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit in our chair and just kind of relax. I can't really tell if my hair looks good because I have to put my glasses back on. Excuse me. Okay, looks at least somewhat decent. So yeah, we're gonna, first and foremost, finish Bride because I've got the epilogue of this left, and then we're gonna transition over to the Witcher book for this month, which is The Tower of Swallows. I did end up canceling the live show last night because I was running so low on battery, as you guys could tell, and so I just basically, after I had filmed the last clip, decided I wasn't gonna do the live show, and I'm just pushing it back. Basically, we're gonna do the live show for The Tower of Swallows and Baptism of Fire together in July, just because it doesn't really make sense to do the live show, you know, 2-3 weeks before the next one. So we're just gonna do a double live show again for those books. Now, The Tower of Swallows so far looks to be the biggest book in the series. It's over 400 pages, and most of these books have been kind of getting close to 400, but not quite getting over it. This is 436 pages without the extra stuff in the back. So I don't think I'm going to get through the entirety of it today. I think what I'm going to do is start my sprint with finishing off Bride, and then, like I said, transitioning to this and getting as far as I need to with this one before jumping into another book. I think I'm going to also try to get through the rest of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, at least in the month, and we'll kind of go from there. I think once I go through and sprint with each of these books, I'll end this vlog here and try, we'll see, to edit this. This vlog probably won't go out until later in the week. I think I may even just wait to post it until later in the week because of my arm and stuff, and I've still got school and stuff going on. Tomorrow is my last full day though, which will be nice, and then I have 2 half days and then I'm done. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting day. Thankfully, tomorrow will also be the last full work day, for now at least, with school, until I have like a summer job where I will then have to turn around and go to tutoring, because Tuesday I'll have at least a longer break between school and tutoring, and then I won't have to tutor again until Thursday, which Thursday is my first day of summer break. So still hoping I have a job though, coming out into the summer. I applied to several places and I just haven't yet really heard from anybody, so we're kind of just waiting and seeing at this point. So I mean, I can only do so much because, you know, I have to wait for somebody to call me and an interview. But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna get going. So let me pull up my dice and we'll see what our first sprint is going to be. Focus camera, there you go. 3. Okay, so it'll be a short one. That'll probably get me through the epilogue of Bride, which is pretty much all I need at this point. That'll be perfect. Like, that'll basically finish out Bride, and then I'll get started on The Tower of Swallows. And those chapters are long, so I probably will go way over that sprint time. But it'll be fine, because it is what it is. I don't like stopping in the middle of chapters of stuff, so I think I'll just, I don't know what exactly I'm going to do while I listen to the audiobooks. Probably play a couple games or something like that. That's usually what I do. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, finished Bride and got through the first chapter of Tower of the Swallow, which was about 33 pages-ish. A couple like pages of quotes before the chapter, and then the actual chapter itself, which was about 31 pages. So 33, 34 pages-ish kind of thing. But yeah, so now we're going to move on to our next book. I do not have audiobooks for the other 3 books I have, so I will be reading them only physically. And then I have an audiobook for The Bone Shard Daughter that I would also like to start if I can today. And I think that I will start playing some games, you know, on like my Switch and stuff, because I've already caught up on my other games and stuff that I need to. So yeah, so let's go ahead and see what our sprint for reading Addie LaRue is going to be. I'm really enjoying the crap out of that one, and I'm surprised because I thought I was not going to like that book really much at all, and the beginning was really slow and it was really hard for me to get into, but I'm loving it, like, so much. So let's see what we're gonna get. Focus camera. 6. So that's a 30-minute sprint, so I'll get to read Addie for about 30 minutes, and then we'll check back in when we've done that, and I get to First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Okay, 30 minutes is up. 31 pages of Addie LaRue, done. Oh, this book. This book. It makes me sad. It makes me really sad, but it's so good. It's such a good book. I'm really glad that I stuck with it. So now we're gonna take a small break just so that I can get myself a snack, and then we'll get started with First Lie Wins. Kind of go from there. I'm trying to decide if I want to move upstairs or not, and I don't think I want to. But I also need to find a better place to put my books because the little table next to me is getting kind of full. Okay, break is over. Camera battery's about to die. Bree is supposed to be hosting sprints about half an hour, so I think I'm gonna do a quick half-hour sprint before that. So we're just gonna do that and call it good, and check back in when I've finished First Lie Wins, or get through more of it at least.